Hello, friends. We are back again, and today we will be talking about something very pertinent, something very in thing regarding the treatment for COVID patients, and that is called proning. Now, doctors around the world have been trying different treatment, respiratory supportive respiratory modalities, but बहुत कम चीजें हैं जो बेनिफिशियल हैं, तो उसके चलते एक चीज काफी उभर के आ रही है चाइना, इटली, यूएस, यूके सभी जगहों से कि ट्रिक ऑफ प्रोनिंग जो कि पेशेंट्स को की जा रही है और उससे काफी बेनिफिट मिल रहा है पेशेंट्स की रेस्पिरेशन को, उनकी ब्रीदिंग को। तो इसी पे आज बात करने के लिए वी हैव Dr. Nandita Chinshankar, who is a consultant and an intensivist here in Scotland, NHS. Thank you, Nandita, for being again with us. तो क्या आप शुरू में बता सकते हैं कि ये प्रोनिंग है क्या?
So, Aviral, thank you for having me. Basically, proning is sort of lying on your front. So normally, क्या है, when we are sleeping on our back. So if you turn and sleep on your front, that is sleep on your tummy, that is proning.
Right.
So in simple words, lying on your front is lying prone, and that is proning.
So lying on the back is called supine position. Lying on your front is prone. So उसे लिटा देने को proning कह देते हैं. ठीक है जी. तो ये जो proning आजकल काफी famous हो रही है, so इसके पीछे कारण क्या है? What is the rationale behind it? It's being used as a treatment modality.
So there are a couple of things, Aviral. If you look at the anatomy of the lungs, the majority of the lungs are actually at the back. So when you're lying on your back, what happens is with the gravity, the weight of the heart actually presses on the lungs. So the backs of the lungs get squashed. Also, your diaphragm and your abdominal contents, like your intestines in your stomach, press on the lungs. So all that squashes your posterior or the backs of the lungs.
Right.
And because them being the major part of the lungs, that can affect the oxygen saturations. Like normally we are sort of up and about, we are walking around, we're sitting up. So there is no sort of gravity playing on much of our lungs or sort of squashing our lungs. But if somebody is ill and they're lying for a long period on their back, then these lungs get squashed.
Right.
And what happens is the lungs are still getting blood. So the blood supply is still going to the lungs, but there is no oxygen going. So then what happens is something called a shunt, because the blood is going, but it's not getting oxygenated. So the same impure blood is going back to the body. Okay. So what happens is if you measure the saturations, so oxygen saturations of somebody who's just lying on their back ill, they will be low because there'll be a lot of blood that will just be bypassing the lungs because it's not getting any oxygen. And actually then if you put them on their front, if they turn and they go on their front on their tummy, then the gravity is not playing a part. So like the heart is not pressing on the lungs, because the heart is lying in front, and also the diaphragm is pushed down. So the abdominal contents are also not pressing on the lungs, and the majority of the lungs which are at the back, they can actually expand, and then the oxygenation is better. So immediately you see an effect on the oxygenation in the blood, and immediately that improves.
So is it true कि जो सुनने में आ रहा है कि जो कई पेशेंट्स आते हैं जिनकी जो ऑक्सीजन सैचुरेशन है, जो ऑक्सीजन की वैल्यू इन द लंग्स इज लेट्स से अराउंड 70%, 80%, 70% है, उनको प्रोनिंग में कर दिया जाता है एंड सडनली ऑफ कोर्स विद ऑक्सीजन, बट उनको प्रोन जैसे ही करते हैं तो आफ्टर अ व्हाइल द सैचुरेशन गोज अप टू 90% प्लस, which is more in the normal range.
So that's quite true. So normally our oxygen saturations in our blood, so your blood, my blood, if you just put the oxygen probe on our finger, we will see our oxygen saturations to be in the high 90s, pretty much 100. And what we are seeing with these COVID patients is there are bits of the lungs that are not functioning because bits of the lungs are collapsed or bits of the lungs are not functioning for whatever reason. So when they come to the accident emergency, they're quite breathless. And when you actually measure their saturations, the saturations can be quite low. So
it can be 60% or 70%.
It can be 60, 70%. And what we are finding is actually giving these patients oxygen and actually just getting them to lie on their front actually improves the numbers much better. So they might come with saturations of like 70-80%. You put them on oxygen, put them on their front, and SATs are much better. SATs are sitting in the 90s. So this is proved to be quite beneficial. It is something really simple. Yeah.
So does that mean, if I understand correctly, then all patients who come in with shortness of breath या breathlessness, सांस जिनको चढ़ी होती है, COVID वाले patients, उनको proning में डाला ही जाता है देखने के लिए कि if that is going to be beneficial. All patients are subjected to that.
Yeah. So there are two types. So if somebody comes to the hospital, is breathless, is needing oxygen, but is otherwise looking okay, then they'll be in the ward, given oxygen, and they'll be told to self-prone. So nurses जाएंगे, उनको बोलेंगे कि turn and sleep on your front. And you might ask me, it's quite uncomfortable to sleep for hours and hours on your front. So then what the nurses will tell them is at least 3-4 hours, try and lie at one time. Then they can lie on their back if they want. And then again, maybe in the second part of the day, again, lie on their front for some time. So whatever time spent on their front is going to be beneficial because their numbers are going to
बेसिकली बैक से निकल के साइड में लेट कर किसी भी तरह पिलोज को हग करके किसी भी तरह से बैक को जितना एक्सपोज करके सोएंगे उतना बेटर हो जाएगा. ठीक है जी. और the people who are more sick, who have multiple system involvement, उनको फिर वेंटिलेट किया जा सकता है या है ना.
So अगर A&E में आए, they are really very very sick and say they come sort of almost peri-arrest बोलते हैं, or they've been in the ward and they've deteriorated, lungs, heart, other organs are getting involved, then we don't really have a choice. We've got to take over the breathing for the patient, and we've got to put the patient on the breathing machine. The patient has to be ventilated. Even for these patients, proning is still very important, and all patients, even if they are ventilated and on the breathing machine, they still are put in the prone position for the majority time of the day. तो मैं बोली आपको पहले कि अगर self prone करते हैं, तो we tell them maybe 2 sets of 3-4 hours in a day. But when they are intubated and ventilated, then they actually put prone for 16 hours. So 16 उनको sort of 14 to 16 hours, we put them prone on their tummy. So put them prone at like पूरा शाम से रात तक till the morning they're put on their front, and then morning they're turned back on their back. So say maybe if the plan is that they're turned on their back at 10 o'clock in the morning, then जब doctors around को आते हैं, they can examine the patient, x-ray निकालने हैं, whatever has to be done can be done at that, and then again in the evening at 6 o'clock they're put back on their front and they're left like that till the next day 10 o'clock.
So it's quite a task because ICU जैसी सिचुएशन में जहाँ पे पूरा PPE वगैरह भी पहने हुए होंगे सभी ने, तो एक टीम ही होगी जो पूरी सबको प्रोन सुपाइन कर रही होगी सुबह में, तो उसमें कितने मेंबर्स होते होंगे? I mean, how does that go about?
तो हम उनको प्रोनिंग चैंपियंस बोलते हैं.
अच्छा.
हाँ. So proning champions and their role for the day is actually to prone the patients.
Right.
So you need about 6 people. So if it's an adult that you're proning, you need about 6 people.
Right. Okay.
What I'll also do is there are some very good links from the Intensive Care Society, which gives you nice diagrams and pictures of actually how it is done. Very well explained. So it would be an idea if we could attach the link.
I think if I may add, because somebody might think कि इसमें क्या बड़ी बात होगी, उल्टा ही तो करना है, but because these ICU patients have tubes all over, ventilation से लेकर catheter से लेकर, and they themselves are not supporting this because they are paralyzed, तो उनको एकदम safe तरीके से करने के लिए 6 या उससे ज़्यादा लोग चाहिए होंगे. So that is quite a remarkable teamwork, I must say.
Yeah, because one person has to manage the tube.
Right.
One person always has to watch the tube. So एक तो गया उधर tube, looking at the tube, okay, and 2 people on either side.
जी.
Okay, and then those 2 people will help turn, and there's one person who's giving the count and who's actually making sure that nothing is getting caught, no equipment is getting caught, no lines are getting pulled.
Yes.
So there are good videos as well as there are good pictures. So we'll attach that link. It will be quite exploratory.
एक और चीज जो मतलब मुझे कईयों ने पूछा भी है, डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस भी आए हैं कि ये क्योंकि न्यूज में काफी आ रहा है प्रोनिंग, सो पीपल आर आल्सो क्यूरियस टू नो कैन दे डू इट एट होम एंड व्हाट शुड बी देयर इंडिकेशन टू डू एट होम, अगर किसी को करना है तो कब करना चाहिए और किनको करना चाहिए, वो भी थोड़ा बता दीजिए.
So क्या है कि there are lots of patients who are COVID positive who are at home feeling quite unwell. There are some who are just lying in bed because they're so tired. They've got so much of body ache that they just can't get up from the bed. And otherwise, there are some who are unwell, who are breathless, but who are still able to sit up and go and make a cup of tea, go to the kitchen, maybe drink a cup of water or eat something. So those people who can actually get up, sit up, get up, and walk a little bit, for them, actually, they are actually working all bits of their lung. So the backs of their lungs, there is a less chance of that getting collapsed because they're actually taking the weight off. And they're actually sitting up and they're actually walking. तो वो अपना खुद का फिजियो कर रहे हैं, फिजियोथेरेपी कर रहे हैं. Okay.
तो उनको जरूरत नहीं है इतनी प्रोनिंग की.
Then they don't really need that much proning because they are actually working all bits of it. But जो patient है who are struggling to get out of bed, who are just lying on their back, okay, and not only COVID patients, anybody who's ill, who's continuing just lying on their back and not really moving because they're so tired, everybody will benefit either going to their side and actually just hold a pillow, hug a pillow, and then try and sort of turn onto your tummy. Even if you don't turn fully, even if you do like a floppy prone bolte hai hum, so hug a pillow and just try and sort of prone yourself or fully prone.
ठीक है. तो वो जो लोग घर पे हैं, जो ज्यादा जिनको लेटना पड़ रहा है कोविड के कारण, बिना कोविड के, दे कैन टर्न देमसेल्व्स, साइड में टर्न कर सकते हैं, 2 पिलोज के ऊपर अपने आप को रख सकते हैं, 3-4 घंटे दिन में रख लें, 2 बार दिन में ऐसा, तो that will be very very helpful.
Yeah, because it will help the lungs which are collapsed. It will help them open up. उधर कुछ secretions वगैरह सब अटके हैं, it will all help it all drain. And that's something that the physiotherapists do very well, actually, in all ICUs, in all the wards. But this is something that we can do at home for patients.
But otherwise, if somebody is mobile, जो चल फिर सक रहे हैं, जो उठ के इधर उधर जा सक रहे हैं, उनको इतना जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि वो
उनको इतना जरूर नहीं है.
वो लेते हैं जब ये सब करते हैं. ठीक है, that makes total sense. And I think it probably will be fair to add कि जो proning है, this is here to stay. As one of the modalities अपने treatment में काफी add ही हो जाएगी ये, regular ward care में भी शायद add हो जाए जिस तरह के results आ रहे हैं. तो thank you very much for this very important information और एकदम आसान तरीके से आपने जैसे mention करी, तो I'm sure people would be able to make use of it and get some insight into के proning क्या.
Yeah. Just one thing I want to add, sorry. It's just this is something that's free. It doesn't require any equipment. It is something that is really simple. Everybody can do it. Doesn't require any fancy equipment. It just requires people to turn the patient from one position to the other, and it gives really good dividends. So it's something that we should really be focusing on and doing for any patient who's in ITU, any really sick patient who's in the ward, who's just lying on their back, because they are all very very prone to collapse the backs of their lungs. So
सबके लिए important for everyone. मशीन पे हो ना हो, वेंटिलेटर्स पे हो ना हो, this is going to be beneficial anyway. ठीक है जी. Thank you very much. और अगर there will be any more questions from our colleagues from anywhere, yeah, even public, they want to know anything, please get in touch with us. हमारे Twitter handles भी हैं screen पे, और Facebook के through भी आप contact कर सकते हैं. Thank you very much, Nandita, and we'll see you again. Thank you. Bye bye.